Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another live stream here on YouTube at Sports Bonanza John and on Kick at Sports Kick John, getting set for an A10 matchup between the 19th ranked Billikens of St. Louis, currently on a 15-game winning streak, and the Davidson Wildcats. St. Louis 21-1 on the season, 9-0 in the A10. Davidson coming in 13-8 on the season, 5-4 in the A10. We'll preview this game in just a moment. First of all, let's pray. Lord Jesus, thank you for this day. Thank you for doing your will upon us, Lord. And please look over all these players and fans and coaches, trainers alike. Please keep everyone safe, Lord. And please continue to look upon us, Lord, as well, as we ask and pray this in your name. Amen. Billikens and Wildcats. As I said, Billikens on a 15-game winning streak. They continue to just blow teams out as they just annihilated Dayton in their prior game this past Friday, 102-71. Davidson, meanwhile, snapped a short two-game losing streak on Saturday with a win over the Richmond Spiders, 79-54 was that final score. St. Louis up 2 spots in the AP poll this week. They are now up to number 19 and trying to continue their red-hot streak of 15 straight wins. And this is a Billikens team, as I said, they blow out everybody, and boy, do they score the ball. They score over 91 points a game. They've got 6 players that average in double figures for St. Louis. They just get it done in all ways. They can play some pretty good defense as well. Dayton found out about that the other night. So it will be the Billikens and the Davidson Wildcats. Davidson, as I said, snapped a 2-game losing streak with a win at Richmond this past Saturday. So Davidson comes in 13-8 on the season, 5-4 in the A10. They score about 20 points a game less than St. Louis does. Davidson averages about 72 a game. They've only got 2 players that average in double figures. So they're going to need quite the offensive performance tonight if they want any chance of knocking off the Billikens of St. Louis. This game's pushed back about 10 minutes because the prior game airing on CBS Sports Network is running a little long, and that's actually St. Bonaventure and Dayton, another A10 matchup. That game's down to the final 10 seconds, and that game is tied up at 70. Dayton's got the ball trying to set up for a game-winning shot, and they will get a foul with 2 seconds left. So Dayton heading to the free throw line. Dayton and St. Bonaventure in that game. Dayton coming in on a 4-game losing streak. Dayton losing by 31 to the Billikens on Friday night in the Gateway City. St. Louis, I said, averages over 91 points a game. Their leading scorer, Robbie Avila, at 12.8 points per game. Davidson's led on the season by Roberts Blums, who averages 11.8 per contest. As St. Louis and Davidson get set to do battle, the only meeting of the regular season between these two teams. If they would meet again, it would be in the A10 tournament. Again, this game pushed back 10 minutes due to the length of the prior game airing on CBS Sports Network between St. Bonaventure and Dayton. Taking a quick look at the top 25 scoreboard, we have the undefeated Miami of Ohio Redhawks in action earlier tonight against Buffalo, and another tight one, but again, Miami of Ohio found a way to pull it out. They win it over Buffalo 73-71. That moves Miami of Ohio to 23-0 on the season, as a tough MAC win on the road at Buffalo for the Redhawks. So they remain undefeated. Arizona also undefeated on the season. They are the only 2 remaining undefeated teams left in college basketball. St. Bonaventure and Dayton heading down to the wire before we get this game started. It'll be the Billikens and the Wildcats. Other A10 games in progress. VCU up on Fordham by 3, 60-57. That game with under a minute to go. And LaSalle and Loyola Chicago are tied at 30. That game is at the half. This St. Bonaventure-Dayton game running extremely long. It's going to actually cut into the beginning of this St. Louis-Dayton game. I can switch over to the app, but I don't want to switch over to the app and then turn around and have to come back over on my TV provider again. But St. Bonaventure is either going to win it or lose it right here because they trail by 2 with 2.3 seconds left. They're going to have to go the length of the floor. So you don't figure they'll have enough time to get a 2-point shot off. And now the old Dayton calling the timeout. So apologies, folks. This is this game going super long. St. Bonaventure and Dayton. They push the tip back of the Billikens and Wildcats back 10 minutes, and it's still not enough. Starting lineups are as follows for both these teams. For the Billikens, it'll be Robbie Avila up front. McCautry, Jones, Brown, and Green, the 4-guard lineup for St. Louis. For Davidson, they pretty much go with 5 guards. Plateau, Brown, the 2 Browns, Scovins, and Friedrich. The starting 5 for Davidson. And this game's underway. And Davidson gets a miss on their opening shot of the game. And now the Billikens have a 3-point. And St. Bonaventure almost just won it at the buzzer against Dayton. But so Dayton pulls that game out to snap their 4-game losing streak. So now we're going to get into this Billikens-Wildcats matchup. A scoreless game until now as Davidson just hits a 3-pointer from Devin Brown to start the scoring tonight. It is 3-0 Wildcats. Again, quite the contrast in styles. Billikens average 91 a game. Davidson averages just shy of 72 a game. And Amari McCautry just hits a 3-pointer for the Billikens. And that will tie the game at 3 apiece. Minute and a half old. Davidson with the basketball. The runner inside is no good. Rebound pulled down by the Billikens. And a deep 3 for Avila. He had an off game on Friday against Dayton, but starts off by getting a 3-pointer here on his first shot, and the Billikens lead 6-3. Outside at the other end, a 3-pointer for Davidson. This looks like it might be a 3-point shooting contest here early in this game, as Parker Fredrickson hits a long-range 3, and we're tied 6 apiece. Outside it goes. Here's another 3-pointer. That one's off the mark. Billikens get the offensive rebound and put back 2 for Trey Green as he gets the putback to go in the paint, and it's 8-6 St. Louis. Davidson, not the type of team that you wouldn't think could keep up with the Billikens' pace. Coming into the night, St. Louis a 1-game lead over George Mason in the A10. VCU 2 games back. Shot in the paint with the right hand is up and good for Josh Scovins for Davidson, and we're tied at 8. So we've been tied at 3, we've been tied at 6, and now we're tied at 8. 3 minutes old. Here's McCautry on the outside for the Billikens. Avila will try another three. This one's too strong, and the Davidson pulls down the rebound. It's Devin Brown, gives it up to Sam Brown, who brings it up the floor. Back out to Devin Brown on the outside. Bounce pass goes inside, and now Sam Brown gets it on the outside, kicks outside. Devin Brown, an open three, and that is good for Devin Brown, his second three. And it's an 11-8 lead for Davidson. Davidson 3 of 3 from behind the arc to start this game. Avila at the top of the key for the Billikens. Green goes inside to Avila. Avila with the left hand. That's too hard. Another offensive rebound for the Billikens. Avila misses the putback, but he draws the foul, and Robbie Avila will be at the line to shoot two. Josh Schertz, head coach of the Billikens. Matt McKillop at the helm for Davidson. First of two free throws for Avila is up and good. And he hits them both as he hits the second as well. 11-10 lead for the Wildcats. Sam Brown brings it up the floor for Davidson. Off to Devin Brown, back outside to Sam Brown. Brown lost it momentarily, now dribbles inside. The turnaround jumper in the paint, a little off the mark. Rebound pulled down by Amari McCautry, and back come the Billikens. Avila has another open three, but misses short. Rebound pulled down by Devin Brown, and back come the Wildcats. Up ahead of the floor, and a layup on a great pass inside from Devin Brown to Josh Scovins. He's got 4. And Davidson leads by 3, 13-10. Quentin Jones gets inside for the Billikens. A little bit of a wild shot there that goes off the backboard. And back comes Davidson on the rebound. Sam Brown has an open three. That's off the mark. And we are going to have a foul on the rebound. And that brings us to our first timeout, almost 5 minutes in. Davidson able to keep up with the quick pace so far. Davidson leads at 13-10 over St. Louis. Donald Morgan jumping in the live chat. Go Wildcats. This would be a great season-boosting win for the Wildcats if they can knock off a top 20 team at home tonight. You have to wonder, is Davidson going to be able to keep the high-scoring, fast pace up the whole game? Been able to keep up so far in the game's first 5 minutes. But can they sustain it throughout the 40-minute contest? Taking a look at the latest projections as we're getting into February. So we're going to start talking, bubble, the bracketology, the updated, bracket, who goes where and all that. We're going to start to be talking about that as we are less than 6 weeks away from Selection Sunday. St. Louis in the latest bracketology, according to the way, is a projected 7 seed right now in the NCAA tournament. And this is worth noting. If the Billikens are able to make the NCAA tournament, St. Louis, the city of St. Louis, is a host site for the first and second rounds of the NCAA this year. And St. Louis would be able to play in St. Louis because the Enterprise Center that's hosting the first 2 rounds is not the Billikens' home floor. So they would be able to play in St. Louis should they make the tournament. So that's something to keep in mind if the Billikens can keep up the pace they're on right now. Kind of surprised they were seeing projected as a 7 seed. I figured in this projection they'd be around a 5 or so, but still projected as a 7 seed right now. So out of the opening timeout, Billikens have started just 3 for 9 from the floor in this game. And Davidson will inbound out of the timeout. This is Sam Brown on the outside. Now Sam Brown drives inside. Pull up from the foul line is good for Sam Brown. That's his first 2 points of the game, and the Wildcats lead now by 5, 15-10. Here's Quentin Jones, gets off to Avila, and Avila has the pass go right through the legs of McCautry, but the Billikens are able to save it. 10 on the shot clock, and Avila misses another 3. Offensive rebound, not an offensive rebound. Billikens had it momentarily, but Davidson able to corral it. And now we have a reach-in foul on the Billikens. This one, I think, is going to go against Quentin Jones, and if it is, it's 2 quick ones on him. It is indeed on Quentin Jones, so he's going to have to go to the bench with 2 early fouls. Number 30, Curry Rule, Van Warren jumping in, saying, let's go St. Louis. So it looks like we have a Davidson fan and a St. Louis fan in the live chat right now. Inbound it comes to the Wildcats. On the outside is Sam Brown. Davidson trying to work it inside, cannot. They have to kick it back outside to Brown. Sam Brown now trying to drive. Brown gets inside, puts it up with the left hand. That's a little too hard, but the Billikens, in fighting for it, knock it out of bounds. Look like Green and Jones both fighting for the rebound for the Billikens, and they end up knocking it out of bounds, and Davidson will keep possession. Inbounds it comes to Brown. And the pull-up jumper up and good. And there's Roberts Blums, the leading scorer on the season for Davidson, and the Wildcats have a 7-point lead with 13:45 to play in the first half. Bounce pass inside. Otinho goes in for a dunk. Paul Otinho, who just checked in the lineup for the Billikens, gets a dunk and makes it 17-12. Oh, man, my pleasure. Glad to be bringing it to you tonight. Outside here for Davidson. This is Logan guarded by Otinho. Logan goes up strong with the right hand and scores. First basket for Sean Logan off the bench, and it's back to a 7-point lead for the Wildcats. 13 minutes to play in the first half. Trey Green kicks it outside, but it's stolen by Davidson. Back come the Wildcats. 2-on-1 layup, no, but a foul, and it'll be 2 shots for the Wildcats. Foul is on Ishan Sharma of the Billikens. That's his first. And Davidson heading to the line for the first time tonight. First of 2 free throws up and good. Devin Brown will have 1 more at the line. Devin Brown, a 65% free throw shooter on the season, and hits them both. Davidson by 9. It's their largest lead here in the first half. Billikens bring it up the floor. McCautry goes inside. Shot is blocked underneath. And back comes Davidson the other way. Outside, here's Logan. Outside, open three-pointer, short. And kept alive, knocked out of bounds. Oh, and they say it's Davidson ball. The Billikens are convinced that Davidson knocked it out. They're asking for a review. The question is, do you want to use it this early, knowing that if you don't win it, you can't challenge for the rest of the game? With 12:28 to play in the first half. That's one of the new rules in college basketball this year. Each coach gets one challenge that you can use whenever you want during the game. If you win your challenge, you get to keep it. But if you lose the challenge, you don't get to challenge again for the rest of the game. So we'll see. They went to commercial, so I'm not sure if the Billikens are challenging this or not. Get a little bit of a risk to use it this early in the game. So if you use it this early, you probably want to be pretty sure that you're going to win it. Got some finals coming in from the A10. VCU pulls out a win at Fordham, 63-59. And told you while this game was starting, Dayton pulled out a 2-point win at home over St. Bonaventure, 72-70. That snaps a 4-game losing streak for the Flyers. Loyola Chicago leading LaSalle in the second half, 50-43. Been a rough year for the Ramblers, but trying to get a little bit of momentum going this last month of the season before going into the A10 tournament. Got some finals coming in from the top 25. Duke rolled past Boston College, 67-49. Told you Miami of Ohio stayed undefeated with a 2-point win at Buffalo. So it appears that there is a challenge because the officials are over at the monitor. So Josh Schertz does roll the dice here and is going to use his challenge early in this game. Other scores from the top 25, UConn just absolutely rolled past Xavier tonight, 92-60. They're showing the replay here now. Let's see if we can make it out. It's kind of hard to tell from the angle they just showed. And again, just like it has to be indisputable to overturn the call on the court. And the call on the court is Davidson ball. It's called the third official. Well, usually if the third official gets called over, he's usually the tie-breaking decider. And let's see what's going to get the call now. I need to learn how to read lips a little better because obviously when I'm doing the live stream, and they have actually reversed the call, it's going to be St. Louis ball. So a good challenge there by Josh Schertz. So he's going to be able to keep his challenge. So the Billikens do have it. McCautry, Davidson throwing a little bit of press here. Boo, says Donald Morgan. Here's Otinho back out to McCautry. McCautry goes back to Otinho. Shot clock down to 10 for the Billikens. Here's McCautry. McCautry across the court. Here's a three-point shot up and good. And it's 21-15 now. Davidson's lead cut to 6. Wildcats on the outside. And that shot is going to be up and good for Davidson. I was trying to update these scores. I didn't see who that was. I apologize. 23-15. Here's McCautry on the outside for the Billikens. Here, McCautry looking to drive, cannot. Bounces inside to Otinho. On the outside, corner three-pointer in front of the Davidson bench is short. Rebound pulled down by the Wildcats. They look for a double-digit lead this trip. A three-pointer on the way. Back rim, no, by Devin Brown. Rebound pulled down by St. Louis. And inside, shot up and in off the glass. A high arcing shot off the glass. And it's 23-17. And the turnaround off the glass. That rimmed out. That was halfway down and came out. Rebound Billikens. McCautry. And the pass too high as McCautry's pass sails into the Davidson bench. Third turnover for the Billikens here in the first half. Near the midway point of the first half. Outside here is Blums. Blums looking to drive, gets cut off by McCautry. Now tries to go around McCautry. Over a double team. Blums can't get it to go. Rebound pulled down by the Billikens. Here's Kellen Thames driving to the basket and having the shot knocked away. A steal off the pass for Davidson, and McCautry's going to dunk it. There was a little bit of helter-skelter underneath the basket there. Davidson knocked the ball away, but then McCautry took it away from Davidson after the rebound and went in for the dunk. And Davidson hits another three. This one for Nick Koval. 28-19 Davidson. They are 4 for 7 from beyond the arc in the first half. Davidson takes it away. And the alley-oop inside, but can't finish. Rebound pulled down by St. Louis. And a three-pointer, and no good, but a foul on a three-point shot. It'll be 3 free throws for the Billikens. Brady Dunlap will head to the free throw line for 3. That foul was on Hunter Adam. And Brady Dunlap, an 82% shooter, goes to the line. First one up and good. Yeah, my pleasure. Yeah, this is about the third or fourth Billikens live stream game I've done this year. Second free throw is no good. This is a very, very good Billikens team. I was wanting to do the Miami of Ohio game earlier today, but the work schedule got in the way, and I wasn't done quite in time to be able to do that one. I'm sorry I didn't. That was a good game between Miami of Ohio and Buffalo. Third free throw for Dunlap is good. He hits 2 of the 3, and it's 26-21. Trey Green back in for the Billikens. Dunlap will get a breather. Wildcats bringing up the floor as we hit the 9-minute mark here in the first half. Davidson with it. Davidson's gone 10 deep already here in this first half for Coach McKillop. Here's Nick Koval. Koval kicks it outside. Wide open three in front of the Billikens bench, and Davidson hits another one. Parker Fredrickson with his second three, and the Davidson lead is back to 8, 29-21. Here's Green on the outside. Green gives it off, and the reverse layup is up and good from Dion Brown, and it's 29-23. Sam Brown driving inside for Davidson. Now kicking it outside is Scovins. Scovins gives it off. Nice move inside. Cannot finish, though, but we have a foul, and that was Jaquelon Roberts. Foul is on Avila. That'll be his first. And Davidson will be at the line for 2 free throws. First of 2 for Roberts is up and good. Roberts a 60% free throw shooter on the season. He'll have one more. Missed that one. 1 of 2 at the line. Billikens ball down 7. Dion Brown on the drive. Brown gets inside. Brown passes off underneath to Otinho. Otinho lost the basketball, but they're going to get a foul. Looks like they're going to get Jaquelon Roberts on the foul for Davidson. That's his first. Nope. They did not get Roberts. Who did they get? I'm actually not sure who they got on that foul, and nonetheless, we step aside with the under 8 with 7:49 to go in the half. 30-23 lead for Davidson. Bear with me here a couple minutes here, folks. I'm updating this scoreboard here. Number 18, Virginia, off to a 22-14 lead on Pitt. 6:40 to go in the first half. St. John's 49-37 lead over DePaul in Chicago in the second half. About midway through the second half in that one. Number 25, Tennessee, a winner tonight, 84-66 over Ole Miss. Be back on the live stream tomorrow night for another college basketball matchup. Not sure what game that's going to be yet. I hope to let you know before I sign off on the live stream tonight. Have to do a meander through the schedule. Like I said, I had a long workday today, so I have to be honest, I haven't really looked at the schedule for tomorrow to see what we got on the docket. But again, hopefully I'll have a announcement on what game that's going to be tomorrow before I sign off tonight. Following the timeout, it is Billikens ball. Has Green with it on the outside. Green to Dunlap. Dunlap inside, too far on the pass as he tried to get it to Avila underneath. But the pass sailed out of bounds, and that's the 5th turnover for St. Louis. Davidson only 1 turnover so far here in the first half. And it comes to Scovins. Scovins gives it off to Sam Brown, who will cross the midcourt stripe for Davidson. Now Logan. And now a top of the key three-pointer is short. Offensive rebound for Davidson. Scovins, the strong rebound. The turnaround hook shot with the right hand, no good. And this time the Billikens able to come down with the board. Three-pointer, Trey Green, top of the key is good. Trey Green hits one from the outside and pulls the Billikens within 4. Billikens now 4 for 10 from three-point range in the first half. Davidson's hit 5 from beyond the arc. And now we have an off-the-ball foul. This will be against St. Louis, and it's going to go against, it looks like, Trey Green. That'll be his first, team 6th. So Davidson will be shooting free throws the rest of the half on each Billiken foul here on out. Donald Morgan saying Miami of Ohio undefeated. Yeah, they keep finding a way to get it done. They have had some close calls here over the last 2 weeks, but have found a way each time. Davidson has it here. And on the drive, right-hand hook, no good, but a foul is called. And back to the line will go the Wildcats 4-2. This foul will be on Dion Brown. And it'll be 2 free throws for Parker Fredrickson. 6 points so far in this game for Fredrickson. Make it 7 as he hits the first free throw. Sean Logan returns to the lineup for the Wildcats. In for Platiu. Hope I'm getting that pronunciation right. Second free throw also good. And the Davidson lead is back to 6. 6.5 to play in the opening half. Billikens bring it up the floor. And Davidson knocks it out of bounds. It will stay St. Louis ball. Nice look inside off the inbound, and a layup is good for Dion Brown. A great feed off the inbound pass, and it's 32-28. Davidson right back the other way. Scovins inside will score with the right hand. Josh Scovins, he's got a half dozen, and it's 34-28. 6 points is the Davidson lead. Three-pointer by Green off the mark. Rebound pulled down by the Wildcats. And a pass underneath. Nice save. And a three-pointer is short. Tipped in off the miss. Manny Joseph. Again, I hope that pronunciation's right. 36-28. Davidson back up by 8. And a strip and a steal, but the Billikens take it right back. And then we're going to have a foul on the Wildcats, it looks like. That was a foul on Davidson, just their 4th of the first half. Billikens inbound. Quentin Jones gets inside. That shot's off the mark and knocked out of bounds by Davidson. Now Davidson wants a review. Just like the Billikens were on a previous play earlier in the half, Sam Brown of Davidson is adamant that went off the Billikens. And it looks like Davidson may indeed be challenging. 5:07 to play in the first half. Great first half for Davidson as they lead the 19th ranked Billikens of St. Louis by 8. 36-28. Again, looking at that college basketball schedule for tomorrow night. See what game to bring on the live stream tomorrow. There's a couple that are very distinct possibilities. As they are looking at this here on that last play. The call was Billikens' ball. So Sam Brown knocked it, and Sam Brown had his hand on it. The question is, when Sam Brown was coming through and the ball was coming through, did it hit Avila's hand on the way out of bounds? Is the question. Sam Brown clearly hits it, but then right after Brown hits it, the question is, did it hit off Avila before going out of bounds? It actually looked like it might have hit off Avila's fingertips. So it is a Davidson challenge. Official still over at the monitor. Showing it one more time here. From the angle that's kind of, I don't know if this camera's at center court or if it's at where it is. It looks like Brown hits it right there. I can't tell if the ball changes direction or changes trajectory or not. We're going to get the call right now. And they're leaving the call a St. Louis ball. Coach McKillop is discussing things with the officials. So now Davidson loses the challenge, so they cannot challenge for the rest of this game. Again, that's the risk you take by using the challenge early. So we're still in the first half. 3 to shoot for the Billikens. Green launches a 3 and swishes it from long range. Donald Morgan says, rip off. 36-31. And the move inside off the glass and in for Sean Logan. Logan has 4 and Davidson leads by 7. Billikens work it inside and score. A quick answer there for McCautry. He's got 9 in the half for the Billikens. 39-33. Open three-pointer and another 3 for Davidson. Josh Scovins hits this one. He's got 9 for Davidson, and the Wildcats back up by 8. But quickly back are the Billikens. Avila airballs a 3, and it's out of bounds to Davidson. Under 4 timeout. 41-33, Davidson continuing to lead the 19th ranked Billikens of St. Louis. By the way this game is going, you have to wonder if Coach McKillop, because he has gone 11 deep in this first half. So you have to think Coach McKillop knew that it was going to be a fast-paced game, and somehow, some way, he was going to have to keep up with the Billikens' pace. And Coach McKillop figures if he goes deep off his bench, it looks like, that was the way they were going to be able to keep up with St. Louis, and so far, so good for the Wildcats here in the first half, as they have led virtually throughout this game, and they lead it now 41-33. Davidson shooting 54% from the floor, 15 of 28. They're 6 of 11 from 3, 55%. St. Louis shooting 50%, 12 of 24. They're 5 of 13 from beyond the arc at 38%. Rebounds even at 13. Billikens have turned it over 5 times in the first half. This has been a key for Davidson. They only have 1 turnover here in this first half. They have been very, very smooth with the ball protection in the first half. Billikens are led by Amari McCautry's 9 points. Trey Green has 8 for the Billikens. Davidson's led by Josh Scovins' 9 points, 8 out of Devin Brown and Parker Fredrickson. And not only has Coach McCullough gone 11 deep tonight, 10 of the 11 players have scored. So he's also getting balance. Protect the ball. That's right. Yep. And great job by Davidson in the first half doing that. And their defense has created some problems for the Billikens as well. So just a great first half for Davidson. Can they keep it up the full 40 minutes? We know what kind of offense this Billikens team has, as they average almost 92 points a game. But held to 33 so far in the first 16 minutes of this one. Coming up at halftime here, we will run down the top 25 scoreboard. Also run down the new AP top 25 that came out yesterday. Thought there were a couple surprises in there to me. In that, so we'll run down that new top 25 poll, look at the top 25 schedule for the rest of the week. And talk about some other sports news around the sports world as well. All coming up. We had a big NBA trade today we will tell you about at the half. So Davidson out of the timeout will inbound. Davidson gets it across the midcourt stripe. This is Sam Brown. Scovins now inside. Scovins drives inside. Hook shot over Otinho is nowhere near. But it's knocked out of bounds by the Billikens. With 3:36 to go in the first half. Actually, they're going to get a foul. I beg your pardon. They get a foul on Otinho, so that's his first. Team 8. First free throw up and good. My apologies. I didn't see the foul called. Scovan's now in double figures in the first half. He hits both free throws. He's got 11, and the Davidson lead is 10, 43-33. Billikens need some points here, as they're now in a double-digit deficit. That has not happened very often this year. Shot up, no good. Ball tipped, and Scovens pulls it down for Davidson. Back come the Wildcats. Brown for three again. Not this time, but an offensive rebound for the Wildcats. Here comes another three-pointer banked in. The banks are open late on this Tuesday. A 13-point lead for Davidson, 46-33. Green inside, missed it on the layup. Rebound Davidson. Wildcats can build the lead even more. This is Sam Brown. And they turn it over here for just the second time, and then a silly foul coming back down on the Wildcats. This is on Fredrickson. I think that was a frustration foul right there. Fredrickson going to get a breather here. It's Davidson's fifth foul here in the first half, so they still have a foul to give. Sharma inbounds for the Billikens. McCautry's shot is blocked. McCautry went in for the drive and had his shot swatted by Sean Logan. And the inbound pass knocked out of bounds again, as Davidson applying some pressure to the inbound here. .228 remaining in the first half. Avila to inbound for St. Louis. Gets it into Trey Green. Thames now. Back to Avila, back to Green on the outside. Green launches a three. That's too strong. Rebound pulled down by Davidson. Wildcats work it inside. This is Brown. Sam Brown inside, lost it, but it's knocked out of bounds by the Billikens. St. Louis currently tied with Gonzaga for the fourth longest active winning streak in the country at 15. Is Josh Schertz going to challenge again? It looked like he gave the signal for a challenge. Now, Matt McKillop not happy over there on the Davidson sideline. And they actually overrule and say it's Billikens' ball. And, of course, Matt McKillop lost his challenge earlier, so he can't challenge this. So here come the Billikens. McCautry. McCautry draws a double team, kicks it outside to Sharma. Sharma tries a three. That's short. Offensive rebound for the Billikens. Nice feed. Inside and blocked. It looked like an easy layup, but a rejection again for Logan. Sam Brown with it. Brown goes inside. Logan bounce pass knocked out of bounds by St. Louis. Boy, that is Sean Logan's second block. Blums to inbound for Davidson. Gets it into Sam Brown. And a forced three-pointer off the rim. No. Rebound Billikens. Avila with it. Three-point shot on the way and good. A much-needed three for St. Louis as Sharma puts it in from long range and makes it a 10-point game. Minute to go, first half. And here comes another three for Davidson. This one short. Rebound pulled down by the Billikens. And on the drive inside, Avila, and he's fouled. He will go to the line. They're going to get Sean Logan on the foul. And the Billikens will have 2 free throws. Avila at the line. First of 2 is good. Another substitution in for Coach McKillop. Jaquelon Roberts checks back in. Avila hits 2 free throws. And the Billikens are within 8 as they've scored 5 straight. Brown with it for Davidson. Brown looks to drive. Now Will. Brown gets inside, lost it. Billikens come up with it. Sharma. Billikens can run for 1 if they want. And now they will kick it back outside. Final 10 seconds. Here's Avila. Avila kicks it out, and a corner three-pointer is good by Brady Dunlap. And now the long heave to end the first half, and the Billikens end the first half on an 8-0 run to pull within 5 at halftime, 46-41. But for just the 3rd time all season, the Billikens are trailing at halftime. 46-41. Davidson leads it at the half over St. Louis. Yeah, back and forth, but St. Louis got a little bit of momentum there, closing out that first half on an 8-0 run, cutting a 13-point deficit down to 5. 26-21 at the break. So it looks like we are going to be in for an exciting second half between these two teams. Couple of score updates real quick for you. Number 18, Virginia at the half leads Pitt 33-20. Pitt only a 20-point first half in that one. St. John's and DePaul, number 22, St. John's at DePaul. St. John's leads at 58-50. 2.5 left in that one. So St. John's looking to hang on there to pick up a road conference win. Earlier today in the top 25, number 3, UConn just destroyed Xavier, 92-60. UConn's winning streak now at 17 in a row. Number 4, Duke, easily over Boston College, 67-49. And number 23, Miami of Ohio, another close call, but again found a way to pull it out as they win it over Buffalo, 73-71. The Redhawks now 23-0 on the season. Number 25, Tennessee, 84-66. They pulled away late in that game to beat Ole Miss. Finals from the A10 today. VCU picks up a win at Fordham, 63-59. That moves VCU to 8-2 in conference play. Dayton snapped a 4-game losing streak. They beat St. Bonaventure 72-70. It's been a rough year for the Loyola Chicago Ramblers, but it looks like they're going to win one in conference play tonight as they lead LaSalle late 71-61. And actually looks like that game has just gone final. So Loyola picks up their 6th win of the season. Well, thank you, Donald. I appreciate that. So we're talking about top 25. Let's look at this week's updated top 25 rankings. The new AP poll came out yesterday. There are a couple surprises in there, or surprises to me, in the new AP poll. Arizona stayed number 1, and they are still a unanimous number 1. That surprised me. Michigan moved up to number 2. They moved up a spot. I thought Michigan was going to pick up at least some first-place votes this week, considering Michigan's wins last week were against number 5 Nebraska, who was undefeated at the time, and winning in East Lansing against number 7 Michigan State. So I thought Michigan was going to get some first-place votes, but not to be. Unanimous number 1 for the 3rd week in a row are the Arizona Wildcats. UConn fell from 2 to 3, so UConn and Michigan just flip-flop positions. Duke stayed at number 4 and taking a big jump this week at 4 spots into the top 5. Illinois, as they picked up a road win at Nebraska this past Sunday. Gonzaga held pat at number 6, moving up a spot to number 7, Iowa State. Up 2 spots this week to number 8, Houston. Nebraska, going into last week, was undefeated, but suffered 2 losses last week, and that dropped them from 5 to 9 this week. And dropping 3 spots to number 10, Michigan State. They had that home loss to Michigan on Friday. They are still hanging on in the top 10. 11 through 15 this week, jumping 3 spots to number 11 is Kansas. Purdue held pat at number 12 despite losing once last week at Indiana. Bounced back with a big road win at Maryland. Texas Tech dropped 2 spots to number 13, and Texas Tech lost again last night to Kansas. Up 2 spots to number 14 is North Carolina, and up into the top 15 at number 15, jumping 3 spots this week, was Vanderbilt. 16 through 20, dropping 3 spots to number 16 is BYU. BYU almost handed Arizona their first loss of the season last week, and then BYU got thumped at Allen Fieldhouse to Kansas on Saturday, so that dropped them 3 spots. Up 2 spots to number 17, the defending national champion Florida Gators. Virginia drops 1 to number 18. Up 2 spots into the top 20 is this Billikens team at number 19. And moving up 2 spots to number 20 was Clemson. And the rest of the top 25 dropping 6 spots this week to number 21, taking the biggest drop of the week, Arkansas. Jumping 3 spots to number 22, St. John's, and it looks like they're going to get a road win at DePaul tonight. The Miami of Ohio Redhawks, undefeated, number 23, and again, pulled one out again tonight at Buffalo. Dropping 4 to number 24 is Louisville. And into the top 25, back into the top 25 this week at number 25 is Tennessee. Alabama dropped out of the poll after getting shellacked at Florida this past Sunday. So that is this week's new top 25 poll. And as I mentioned, we're getting into the month of February now, so you're going to start to hear a lot of this bubble talk, a lot of who's where, who's in the NCAA, what seed are they going to be projected at. Going to have a lot of that here for these next 5 weeks, as we are getting down to the final month or so of the regular season in college basketball. So a lot still to be decided. It's going to be a fun last month or so of the regular season. Running down some other sports news, we had a big NBA trade, as the NBA trade deadline is coming up this week. Big trade today involving the Clippers and the Cavaliers. The Clippers are sending veteran NBA player James Harden. He is headed to Cleveland. The Clippers are going to pick up Darius Garland and also a second-round pick. So the Clippers are getting Cleveland's second-round pick this year for that trade for James Harden. Clippers have been on a bit of a roll here recently, too. Cleveland, you're thinking they're 9 games over 500. You still think they're going to be a threat in the East, and you know James Harden would like one more crack at another title. So maybe that's the piece that the Cavaliers needed, picking up James Harden. And also a trade between Boston and Chicago. Anthony Simmons playing with the Celtics, but he's headed to Chicago. Boston is also sending a second-round pick in that one to Chicago. Chicago is picking up Nikola Vucevic. Or I'm sorry, Boston is picking up Nikola Vucevic. So those are a couple of trades in the NBA, and actually one more trade involving the Grizzlies and the Jazz, two teams that really are nowhere even in the playoff picture in the NBA this year. Grizzlies are trading Jaren Jackson Jr. to Utah. It's an 8-player deal there between the Jazz and the Grizzlies. Memphis is also getting 3 first-round picks in that trade with Utah. So you're going to be seeing a lot of trading in the NBA over these next couple days, with the trade deadline looming later on this week. So that's a look at some news from the NBA. Got all those trades to tell you about there. Couple of NBA, so let's run down the NBA scoreboard real quick, actually, while we're talking NBA. Knicks win in Washington tonight, 132-101. Lakers get a win in Brooklyn over the Nets, 125-109. In progress in Dallas, midway through the fourth quarter, Celtics lead the Mavericks 100-84. Thunder destroying the Magic 111-80. 7 minutes left in that one. Yet to tip off tonight, 76ers and Warriors from San Francisco, and Portland hosting Phoenix. That's coming up in a little while as well. And of course, we are in the midst of Super Bowl week, Super Bowl 60, coming up this Sunday from Santa Clara, the Seahawks and the Patriots. As Super Bowl 60, and I will definitely be on the live stream on my live stream Sunday night for Super Bowl 60, Seahawks and the Patriots. Patriots in the Super Bowl for the 12th time. For head coach Mike Vrabel and Mike McDonald, Great young head coach for the Seahawks, leading the Seahawks to the Super Bowl. Both those teams, the Seahawks and Patriots, entering the season, before the season started, both those teams were 50-1 or better. Or 50-1 or worse, I should say, to even make the Super Bowl. So I don't think anybody at the beginning of the season saw this coming with the Seahawks and the Patriots. But they will do battle in Super Bowl 60. Again, I will definitely be on the live stream for that on Sunday night. That live stream of Super Bowl 60 will be on my YouTube, and I'm going to have that on my Twitch channel on Sunday. Sports Bonanza John on YouTube and Sport Guru John on Twitch. We'll not have that one on Kick, but will be on my YouTube and Twitch streams for Super Bowl 60 coming up on Sunday night from Santa Clara. And here in this game, as we're going back to this one, at the half, Davidson leads St. Louis 46-41. Davidson over the 19th ranked Billikens of St. Louis. Let's run down some first half stats from this game. Davidson shot 48%, 16 of 33 from the floor. They were 7 of 15 from three-point range at 47%, 7 of 8 at the free throw line for 88%. Billikens shot 44%, 14 of 32, 7 of 17 from three-point range at 41%. They were 6 of 7 at the free throw line for 86%. Rebounds were all square, 18 apiece. Turnovers, Billikens turned it over 5 times in the first half. Wildcats turned it over 3 in that first half. Individual scoring in that first half for both teams. Davidson was led by a couple of 11-point scorers, Devin Brown and Josh Scovins, 11 points apiece for Davidson in that first half, 8 points out of Parker Fredrickson. Off the bench, 4 points out of Sean Logan, 3 points out of Nick Koval, 2 points apiece from Sam Brown, Maney Joseph, Roberts Blums, and Hunter Adam, and 1 point for Jaquelin Roberts to round out the scoring for Davidson in that first half. Billikens were led in scoring by Amari McCautry's 9 points, 8 points off the bench for Brady Dunlap. Trey Green also had 8 points, 7 points out of Robbie Avila, 4 out of Dion Brown, 3 points from Ishan Sharma, and 2 points for Paul Otinho to wrap up the individual scoring in that first half. As Davidson looking for a season-defining win here, they lead number 19 St. Louis 46-41. And again, in looking before this game started, going into the day, St. Louis, in the bracketology that I follow, St. Louis, a projected 7 seed currently in the NCAA tournament bracket projection. And again, as I mentioned earlier, but it's worth mentioning again, St. Louis is a host site for the first and second rounds of the NCAA tournament this year. St. Louis would be eligible to play in St. Louis because where the first and second rounds are being held there at the Enterprise Center is not the Billikens' home floor. Used to be before Chaffetz Arena was built. So since the Billikens do not play at the Enterprise Center, they would be eligible to play in St. Louis for the first and second rounds of the NCAA tournament. That's worth noting. As the Billikens will have the basketball to start the second half. And the Billikens bring it in with 20 minutes on the clock here at half number 2. Jones to Avila. Off to Trey Green. Green's pass deflected, but Dion Brown gets to it. Brown drives inside, too strong with the layup. Avila with the offensive rebound, and a fresh 20 for St. Louis. And a bad pass from Jones, just able to be saved. Here's Green. Green with 5 to shoot. Green launches a long one and hits it. Trey Green with a 3. He's got 11, and the Billikens within 2. They are now on an 11-0 run dating back to the first half. Davidson's first possession of half number 2. Driving against Avila, layup too strong. Rebound pulled down by the Billikens. They can tie this trip, and the reverse layup is a little too far underneath there and a little out of control. And then the Billikens commit a loose ball foul. That one's going to be on Quentin Jones. That's his third. Billikens' first foul of the second half. Davidson brings it across the midcourt stripe with Sam Brown. And that's going to be a reach-in foul on Dion Brown. That'll be his second. Team second on St. Louis in the second half. Inbound for Davidson. And now here's a drive inside, putting it up with the right hand. Can't get that to drop. Offensive rebound and putback for Josh Scovens. He's got 13. 48-44 Davidson. Bounce pass, and we've got a foul on the Wildcats. This will be their first foul of the second half. Got Sam Brown with it. Brown does not agree with the foul call. Billikens will inbound from under the basket. Nice pass inside, and the finish for Brown on a great feed from Quentin Jones. 48-46, lead back to 2. Plateau kicks it outside to Sam Brown. Plateau drives and scores with the right hand. His first 2 points of the game for Ian Plateau. 50-46 Davidson. Avila has a wide open 3, but misses long. Rebound pulled down by Davidson. Avila now just 1 of 7 from the field. Brown. Inside it goes. And the drive, right hand, layup up and good. Josh Scovens again, he's got 15. And the lead back to 6. Avila driving, left hand layup is good. Just the second field goal of the game for Robbie Avila. 52-48, 3 minutes old, second half. And at the other end, count that, and a foul. Layup is good for Devin Brown. He'll have a chance for a 3-point play. Quentin Jones just picked up foul number 4. So he's going to have to go to the bench as Devin Brown tries to complete a 3-point play, and he does not, however. Rebound pulled down by Dunlap, so still a 6-point lead for Davidson. Great pass inside, and the layup is good. 54-50. Dion Brown with that basket there for the Billikens. He's got 8. And a long-range jumper. That's for 3. Sam Brown with another 3, or a 3-pointer. 57-50. Davidson's lead is 7. Avila lost it out of bounds. Knocked off Davidson. It will stay with St. Louis. Billikens will bring it in under the basket. Dunlap. Now over to Green. Green gets it inside. McCautry off the glass. Counted and a foul. Amari McCautry will have a chance for a three-point play. McCautry trying to complete the three-point play, and he does. And it brings the Billikens back within 4, 57-53. Across the timeline is Sam Brown. Brown to Plateau. Going inside now out to Scroggins. Or Scovins, rather. Scovins. Open three-pointer. No. Rebound in the air, pulled down by the Billikens. Avila with it on the outside for St. Louis. Avila into the corner for three. Yes! In front of the Billikens bench. The three for Brady Dunlap, and this is a one-point game. 15 and change to play. Brady Dunlap now 11 points off the bench for the Billikens. And there's a strip and a steal. St. Louis with the chance for the lead. Dion Brown. Outside Dunlap tries again. He got it, and the Billikens lead it. 59-57. Brady Dunlap is fired up. The Billikens' first lead since 8-6. Timeout, Davidson. Brady Dunlap all of a sudden with the hot hand for St. Louis, as they have taken the lead. 59-57, 14:58 to go. This is that St. Louis offense been telling you about all night. This is a team that can score and score in bunches and quickly. And everybody on this team has scoring capabilities. We're seeing now Brady Dunlap 4 for 4 from three-point range. That's the Billikens' 10th three-pointer tonight. And this is right here is what makes the Billikens such a dangerous team. And if they continue to play the way they are right now, going into postseason play, it is not a team I would want to see as my opponent. Yeah, Davidson did have a 13-point lead, and there's still plenty of time here. There's still 15 minutes to go. Billikens are up to 49% overall from the floor, 48% from three. But it has become the three-point shooting show so far here in the second half for the Billikens. They already have 18 points in the first 5 minutes of the second half. Davidson was up 5 at the half, 46-41. They were up 13 in the first half. But St. Louis, dating back to the first half, is on a 26-11 run. Van Warren saying it's over. I wouldn't say that yet. St. Louis, good, well-coached team. Yeah, Josh Schertz, a fine coach in his second year with the Billikens. coming over from Indiana State, where in Schertz's final year with the Sycamores took them to the NIT championship game. That was back in 2024 before falling to Seton Hall. Van, I'm guessing you're going for Davidson. Actually, I have no rooting interest here whatsoever. Just we have a foul here on the Billikens on the Davidson inbound. And that will take us to the under 16 timeout. 14:54 to play. 59-57. Yo-Yo Winna. I love that screen name. Into the live chat. Have a bet on Davidson. Is it over? No, it's far from over. This is a Davidson team. Talked about this at the outset, too. St. Louis averages about 20 points a game more than Davidson does. Davidson only scores about 71 a game. They're already at 57. So it looks like they're going to go well above their season points per game average. Looking ahead for both these teams, following this game here tonight, Billikens will head back home to Chaffetz Arena on Saturday afternoon. They will host the Explorers of LaSalle. Davidson, meanwhile, will stay at home on Friday. They will host the Ramblers of Loyola Chicago on Friday night. Conference play always tough in any conference. Yes, it most certainly is. And the A10 is a phenomenal conference this year. You've got St. Louis here at 9-0. You've got George Mason at 9-1. VCU. I'm sorry, not VC. Excuse me. VCU. I'm sorry. Yeah, VCU at 8-2 as they win tonight at Fordham. So this is the top three teams, very, very good teams in the A10. If St. Louis maybe can only lose one more game in the regular season, and then if they would fall, just say in the conference tournament championship game, I think the A10 would have a chance to be a multi-bid league this year. Davidson out of the timeout will bring it up the floor with Sam Brown. Bounce pass inside. The turnaround hook shot off the front of the rim will not drop. Rebound pulled down by Dunlap. And back come the Billikens. Kellen Thames back in the lineup for St. Louis. He's got the ball now over to Otinho. Inside to Avila. Avila, great pass inside and the finish for a dunk for Kellen Thames. A great feed from Avila to find Thames underneath the bucket for a dunk. 61-57. 14-minute mark. Here's Sam Brown. Three-pointer around and out. That was halfway down and came out. Thames with it the other way for the Billikens, and he drives and gets fouled. Kellen Thames will be at the line to shoot two for St. Louis. Kellen Thames heading to the free throw line for the first time tonight. Thames a 65% free throw shooter and rims the first one in. Avila going to get a breather here for St. Louis as he heads to the bench. One more for Thames. That one short. Rebound Davidson. So the Billiken lead is 5. This is the largest lead of the game for St. Louis. Davidson's biggest lead has been 13. Scovins gives it off to Sean Logan. And outside for a three-pointer off the front of the rim. That's no good from Nick Koval. Rebound pulled down by the Billikens. Thames. Sharma. Back over to Thames. Thames looks to drive. Thames gets inside to Otinho, and Otinho fouled on the way up. He will shoot 2. Foul is on Sean Logan of Davidson. And Paul Otinho has 2 free throws. First is up, and that's no good. Donald Morgan, they must have changed uniforms at halftime. One more free throw coming for Otinho. Got that one. And the Billiken lead is now 6, 63-57. Billikens with a little bit of press, but quickly back it off as Blums brings it across the midcourt stripe for Davidson. Outside to Hunter Adam. Great pass inside. Kicks it out to Logan. Logan, here's a three-pointer. That's long. Davidson's gone cold from outside. And back come the Billikens the other way. Davidson's missed their last 5 from behind the arc. Three-pointer is good at the other end for Brady Dunlap again. He is 5 for 5 from beyond the arc. St. Louis by 9, 66-57. There's a great pass inside. Layup off the glass and in. A much-needed basket for Davidson. As Hunter Adam puts it in to make it 66-59. Billikens have had buckled down defensively here. That's a reason why Davidson's cooled off here as well. We go under 12 minutes. Bounce pass inside. Layup is around and out. That was halfway down and came out. Otinho, the offensive rebound, and a foul on Davidson, which brings us to the under 12 timeout. But it's Brady Dunlap that has taken over the second half for the Billikens. And they lead this game 66-59, 11:48 remaining. So I said I was going to be on tomorrow for a college basketball live stream, but not sure what the game is going to be. It's the most appealing game tomorrow, it looks like, and that's probably the one I'm going to go with. Most appealing game tomorrow looks like UCF and Houston. UCF coming off a win over Texas Tech this weekend. That's probably going to be the game I go with tomorrow night. Showdown in the Big 12 between the Knights and the Cougars. I'll try to have an official announcement sometime tomorrow, like on my page here, but I believe the live stream tomorrow night is going to be UCF in Houston, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. And here it is 66-59 in favor of the Billikens, as they have battled back from down 5 at the half. Still plenty of time, 11:48 to play. Sharma to inbound for the Billikens. Sharma gets it in to Otinho. Out to Dunlap. Dunlap with a bad pass and a turnover. Not even sure who he was looking for there. 6 turnover for the Billikens. And the pull-up jumper just to the right of the foul line is good, but there was a foul before the shot, so it will not count. Foul is going to be on Sharma. That's the team's 6th. So Davidson will be shooting free throws here on out on each Billikens foul. Of the comment. Well, again, the Billikens defense has buckled down a little bit here in the second half, too, and has forced some ill-timed shots. Here's a long-range 3. That's no good. Davidson has cooled off considerably from beyond the arc. They've missed their last 6. Green. Green on the drive. Green turns, shoots, hits. Trey Green. He's got 13. And then a steal of the inbound and another layup for Kellen Thames. A steal of the inbound pass, and just like that, it's an 11-point lead. And now we have a reach-in foul on Thames. That is the 7th-team foul, so it'll be 1-1. With 10:52 to go. Davidson's inbounding the ball. That should have been the 7th team. Well, Davidson has it. Bounce pass inside, off the glass, no good. Offensive rebound, put back and 1. Okay, apparently they didn't call a foul on the last play because they still have 6. Now they have 17 fouls. So a little bit of confusion there, and it was probably just me. When I do these live streams, for obvious reasons, I have the sound down on the television. So I'm not always aware of what exactly goes on. This will be a 3-point opportunity as Logan heads to the free throw line. Logan with 6 points and make it 7 as he rolls in the free throw. 70-62. Excuse me. Billiken lead is 8. Here's Avila. McCautry on the outside. McCautry gives it off. Runner shot blocked out of bounds. It will stay with the Billikens. Has Dunlap tried to drive inside. Shot clock at 12. Shot clock has not been a major factor tonight. Avila to inbound. In it comes to McCautry. Over to Sharma. Sharma, that's a kick ball. That's a break for the Billikens. That's going to reset the shot clock to 20. Billikens to inbound. Here's Green outside. Avila looking for help, gets it to the hot shooter, and he hits again from outside. Dunlap, 20 points on 6 of 6 from three-point range. Billikens back up 11, and on the drive, we have a foul called. This will be a 1-and-1 for Davidson. Brady Dunlap is absolutely on fire in the second half. First free throw this is 2 shots. I beg your pardon. First is no good. It was a shooting foul. And misses both free throws. When you're trying to come back, that's something that can't happen. 73-62, and the Billikens have the ball. Outside to Sharma. Boy, Dunlap's open again in the corner, but instead the Billikens go inside to Avila, and he draws a foul on Logan. And that's going to be number 4, I believe, on Sean Logan. Boy, the Billikens missed him. Brady Dunlap was absolutely wide open again in the corner. First is no good. Tried Donald Morgan on the live chat with a great point. Of course, Davidson, the alma mater of Steph Curry, led them on that miraculous Elite 8 run his senior year back in, help me out, Donald, what year was that? Was 08? 07? 74-62. Wildcats need a basket desperately. And they kick it out. And here comes a three-pointer on the way. That's good from Roberts Blums. A much-needed 3 for the for the Wildcats, rather. 74-65. And this will be a foul on the Wildcats. Oh, 08. Okay, I knew it was somewhere 07, 08 range. McCautry to the line as it's now 1-and-1 both sides. McCautry misses the front end. Davidson with the rebound. Chance to get closer. Still 8:40 to go. Behind the back dribble. Now the drive inside, but now a double team. Off it comes. Layup is up and in from Jaquelon Roberts, his first field goal. And here come the Wildcats. They're within 7. Avila outside to McCautry. And here's Dunlap. 8 minutes to play, 9 to shoot. Inside, McCautry on the drive, gets free and lays it in. Amari McCautry makes it 76-67. And we've got a foul inside prior to a Davidson layup. As we hit the under 8 timeout, 76-67. Amari McCautry not too happy down there, expressing his displeasure. Billikens by 9. Billikens are up to 53% shooting, 27 of 51 52% from beyond the arc, 12 of 23. Davidson's at 49% shooting. Down to 41% from three-point range before making this last three. They had missed 6 in a row out there. Billikens have taken the rebound edge here, 31-24. Both teams have been pretty clean with the ball tonight. Just 11 combined turnovers, 6 for the Billikens, 5 for the Wildcats. It has been a 22-point swing in this game since Davidson led by 13 late in the first half. Billikens are led by Brady Dunlap's 20 points off the bench on 6 of 6 shooting from beyond the arc for Dunlap. Josh Scovins leads the way for Davidson with 15. Scovins about at 1.5 times his season points per game average. He averages about 10.5 a game. Billikens have outscored the Wildcats by 14 here in the second half, as the Billikens trailed by 5 at the half. That's only the third time all season the Billikens were trailing at halftime. Billikens' only loss this year was a 1-point loss over Thanksgiving weekend in the Acrisure Invitational Championship. That was a 1-point loss to Stanford. Billikens have rolled off 15 in a row since. They are 16th in the net coming in. Yes, St. Louis is very, very good. Now, the CBS Sports bracketology has them projected as a 5 seed. That's not the one I use. The one I use had them projected as a 7 this morning. 1-1 here at the line for Davidson. Hunter Adams' first free throw up and good. This to cut it back to 7 again. And he does. 76-69. Davidson almost at their season points per game average. And we still have 7.5 minutes to go. Avila on the outside. Off to Dion Brown. Brown drives. Brown gets cut off. And Brown has to kick it back out. Go inside Sharma. Back outside it goes. Shot clock at 4. Great feed inside, and Avila with the finish. With 2 on the shot clock, they found Avila underneath. He's got 12 now, 78-69. Now Davidson back the other way. And a reach-in foul. They're going to get Avila, it looks like. And Davidson will be at the line for 2 now the rest of the way. First of 2 up and good. One more coming for Roberts. Roberts with 4 points in the game, make it 5 as he hits the second free throw. And Davidson again within 7 as Sean Logan returns to the lineup for the Wildcats, as he will replace Roberts. 78-71. Crowd getting alive, trying to urge on the Davidson defense. Deep three, Trey Green. No. Rebound, Wildcats. But taken away by Dunlap. That's the second time this half that Dunlap has taken the ball right away from a Davidson player. But now Davidson gets the steal and then a foul. Fredrickson will be at the line for 2 for Davidson after this timeout with 6:33 to go. (78-71). Update on a couple of those top 25 scores. St. John's has one at DePaul, 68-56. Number 18, Virginia leading Pitt, 63-47. There's a timeout called there. That's why the stoppage of play. It's called by Davidson, so they're down to one timeout. No, and I misspoke there right before the timeout. No foul there. It was just a timeout called by Davidson. Davidson on the drive here. Turnaround in the paint. Too strong, and it's rebounded by the Billikens. Davidson cannot seem to get it under that 7-point barrier. Avila looking for help. Still looking. And finally gives it off to Sharma. Sharma outside to Dunlap. Dunlap finds Trey Green. 8 to shoot. Green on the drive. Green kicks it outside. Avila for 3. That's short. Offensive rebound for the Billikens, but that's knocked away. But we have a foul. This is going to go the other way. This is going to go on the Billikens. Davidson brings it up across the midcourt stripe. Another chance to get this down to 5 or 4 with a 3. Blums the turnaround off the rim, no good, and another missed shot for Davidson with a chance to cut it to 5. Jones off the glass, no, but he's fouled. Quentin Jones will head to the line for 2. .5:15 to play. That's the 4th foul on Sean Logan. Jones scoreless in this game until now as he hits the first free throw. 79% shooter on the season. And this second one to put the Billikens back up 8, or 9 rather. Maybe the rim is warped on that end. Coach McKillop keeping Logan in with the 4 personals. Dunlap is going to get a breather on the Billiken sideline, or on the side Billiken bench. 2 free throws for Jones extends the lead back to 9. 80-71. Fredrickson brings it across for Davidson. Fredrickson looking to drive, or I'm sorry, that's Brown, excuse me. Devin Brown with it now. And lost the handle and turns it over. Just absolutely lost the handle on the dribble that time. And the Billikens a chance to go back up double digits. And a layup inside is blocked. And a nice play by Davidson to knock it off of McCautry. And it's going to go to the Wildcats. Four and a half left. Thought about the three-pointer. Now will bounce inside. Scovins turns, lays it in, counted, and a foul. A chance for a three-point play. Scovins with 17 points. Foul on McCautry is number 4. So Jones and McCautry, 4 fouls apiece for the Billikens. Missed the free throw, so cannot complete the three-point play. It's 80-73 as we approach 4 minutes to play. Avila with it on the outside. Avila will pop a three-pointer. That's short. That wasn't a very good shot by Avila. Rebound pulled down by Davidson. Three-pointer, Blums, round and out. That was halfway down and rimmed out. Rebound, St. Louis. Avila on the drive. Avila throws it up, count it, and a foul. Avila has a chance for a three-point play as we hit the under 4. 3:31 to play. Billikens up 9. As Avila will try to make it 10 with the free throw following the timeout. Rim is warped. Well, both teams are in the double bonus. St. Louis has 3 timeouts remaining. Davidson has 1. In case of a held ball, Davidson has the possession arrow. Which, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've been saying this for years. Nothing's going to change because it would have changed by now if they were going to change. When you get to college, if there's a jump ball, jump the ball. I hate that possession arrow. You can make a good defensive play to tie up the ball, but if you don't have the possession arrow, you're basically penalized for making a good play. And that's just my 2 cents worth for the night. Billikens up 9, trying to put away Davidson and extend their winning streak to 16 in a row. Thank you, Donald. I agree. I appreciate that. They agree. I'm in the minority on that. I've said that to so many people. They're like, no, possession arrow's great. No, it's not. No. Yes, you're in college. You need to be jumping the ball if there's a jump ball. Avila with 14 points will be heading to the line. Billikens have put 4 in double figures tonight. Yo-yo winnow. Yeah, that's... But again, in this one, St. Louis made some defensive adjustments here in the second half, and it's caused Davidson some problems on the offensive end. They have gone cold from beyond the arc. Avila hits the free throw to complete the three-point play. He's got 15, and the St. Louis lead back to double digits. Wildcats bringing it up the floor. Time's starting to be a little bit of an issue as we're down to 3:20. Pass inside is a bad one, and it's taken away by the Billikens. Jones with the dribble at quarter court. Jones looking to drive. Jones does drive and is fouled. And if that's on Logan, which I think it is, he's gone. Two free throws coming for Quentin Jones. First is good. They actually did not get Logan on that foul. He still has 4. I'm not sure who they got, but second free throw good. Lead back to 12 with 3:01 to play. Billikens showing some press here on the inbound, but Davidson able to break it. Three-pointer is blocked. Blums does get to the loose ball, kick it out in the corner for 3 and good. Three-pointer for Fredrickson. That puts him in double figures. Third Davidson player to reach double figures, 85-76. Just Davidson's third three-pointer of the second half after hitting 7 in the first half. Billikens turn it over, and back comes Davidson. Fredrickson on the drive. Layup is good. There's a quick 5, and it's 85-78. On the live chat, oh, wow, a 3. Yeah, there haven't been very many of those in the second half. Avila just throws that ball up, and it goes in. Avila now with 17, 87-78. Fredrickson on the drive and is fouled on the layup attempt. He will shoot 2 with 1:50 to go. And that's going to be on Quentin Jones, and Jones has just fouled out. So Quentin Jones fouls out with 4 points. Yeah, Davidson, a good point in the live chat here from Jonathan. Davidson is going to have to start playing the foul game here and hope that the Billikens miss some free throws down the stretch. Sorry about that. I have a frog in my throat. Billikens are 15 of 20 from the free throw line tonight. Sharma over there talking to his head coach, Josh Schertz. First free throw is good. One more coming for Fredrickson. Second free throw is good. It rolls in. 87-80. Again, the lead is 7. This is as close as Davidson's been able to get. They have not been able to get it under this 7-point barrier. Timeout called by the Billikens. This will be a 30. 1:50 remaining. Billikens looking to hang on and win for the 16th consecutive time. Looking ahead to the Billikens schedule, they do still have VCU and a return trip to Dayton yet on their schedule. Yeah, John, I've actually been impressed with Davidson. I wasn't sure if they'd be able to keep up this kind of fast-paced game all game, but I think Coach McKillop, I mentioned this in the first half, he has gone very deep tonight as he's played 11 players. And I think that was his strategy. Go deep, try and stay fresh, and that'd be the only way he could keep up with the Billikens. And for the most part, they've done a very good job. Davidson pressing the inbound here, and the Billikens having trouble getting it up. They got 2 seconds, just get it across before the 10 count. And now they will run the offense. Trey Green with 1.5 minutes to go. Bounce pass to Avila. Avila off to Sharma. Shot clock down to 2. Sharma missed a 3, but a big offensive rebound for the Billikens. Oh, Davidson got the stop, but could not pull down the defensive rebound. Both teams in the double bonus. Oh, that's a killer for Davidson. They had the defensive stop they needed, but could not pull down that rebound. Brady Dunlap at the line. 82% shooter. He rolls it in. 21 tonight for Dunlap. Second free throw. Got it. Dunlap with 22. Billikens up 9. Time running out for the Wildcats. Davidson brings it up. Sam Brown. Brown looking to drive. Brown gets inside and is fouled. That's not what you want to do if you're the Billikens. Going to get Dion Brown. That'll be his 4th. First free throw is good. This again would cut it to 7. And it does. 89-82. 1:08 to go. Trey Green returns for the Billikens, replacing McCautry. McCautry does have the 4 fouls. Again, Davidson pressing. Avila. Bounce pass up to Green. Green, oh, the dangerous pass. That was almost taken away by Davidson. And now a double team, and the Billikens get the timeout with 57.6 to go. Brady Dunlap a little frustrated and showing that to one of the officials. Billikens very, very fortunate to keep possession there. So both teams down to one timeout. 20 on the shot clock, 57.6 on the game clock. This is a full timeout for the Billikens. Billikens inbounded into the backcourt. Sharma. Shot clock at 10, and now a foul. Boy, Davidson let a few seconds tick off there before fouling. If you're going to foul there, you probably want to do it a little earlier than that. Fredrickson with his third. Free throw is up and good. And the Billikens are hitting their free throws down the stretch. Sam Brown back in for Davidson. Chance for the Billikens to go back up 9 again. Got it. Billikens 19 of 24 at the free throw line. 90 to 82. 91-82. Three-pointer on the way. That's too strong. Offensive rebound for Davidson. Sam Brown tries a three. That's short. Rebound to St. Louis. Three-point shooting just not there in the second half for Davidson. They're now just 3 for 12 from beyond the arc in the second half. Dunlap to bring it in for the Billikens. And can't get it in, and the Billikens have to use their final timeout. (91-82). CBS Sports Network graphic has it 90-82, but I'm pretty sure it's 91-82. Yeah, they just fixed it. So the Billikens take their final timeout. Up by 9 with the ball, 32.7 on the clock. So the Billikens at least appear that they are going to survive a game Davidson team tonight. Davidson gave it all they had tonight. And a fine effort. They're 10 points over their season average. But St. Louis, again, that offense, and they're right at their season average at 91. And they're 32.7 seconds away from winning for the 16th time in a row. The fourth longest active streak in the NCAA. Dunlap to inbound. Gonna have to get it in now. They're out of timeouts. Saying they do get it in, and they throw it away. The Billikens throw it out of bounds into the Davidson bench with 28.7. I thought there was going to be a foul there. Oh, my pleasure, Donald. Hope I have you tuned in again here as the year goes on. There'll be a lot of college basketball on my live streams coming up here through the month of February. So Davidson to inbound in front of their bench. Get it into Sam Brown. Brown inside, missed it. Rebound to St. Louis, and the foul at 24.6. And that may just about do it. So this might be the final time that Davidson fouls. Avila at the free throw line. First is no good. He's now 6 of 8 tonight at the line. Once this game concludes, we'll run down some final stats as Avila misses both, and probably going to sign off the live stream here pretty quick tonight because I do still have to get up and do the work thing tomorrow. Davidson down to 15 seconds. Three-pointer at the top of the key, but we have a timeout before. So both teams now out of timeouts with 12.3 to go. Again, Billikens next in action back at home on Saturday as LaSalle will come to the Gateway City. Davidson will be back on the court on Friday night at home against the Loyola Ramblers. Kind of a quirk in the scheduling here. Following their game against Loyola Chicago on Friday, Davidson has a game coming up on Monday. It's a non-D1 team. It's against Mid-Atlantic Christian. I'm assuming Davidson had a game they had to get scheduled in there or something. That game's coming up on Monday before they jump back in conference play for the remainder of the season. Following the timeout, Davidson will inbound here. Inbound. And a deep three-pointer. That short offensive rebound for the Wildcats. Put back, no good. Rebound, Billikens. And that is going to do it as the horn sounds. Billikens win their 16th in a row. They defeat Davidson tonight, 91-82. St. Louis improves to 22-1 on the season, 10-0 in the Atlantic 10. Davidson falls to 13-9 overall, 5-5 in the A10. Run down the final stats here real quick before I sign off for the night. Billikens end up shooting 51%, 30 of 59 from the floor, 12 of 27 from three, had 44% and 19 of 26 at the free throw line for 73%. Davidson, 28 of 63 from the floor for 44%. 10 of 29 from three-point range at 34%, but boy, did they really cool off in the second half. Just 3 3-pointers in the second half. 16 of 21 at the free throw line for 76%. Billikens a rebound edge of 41-30. Billikens turned it over 10 times. Davidson turned it over 7 times. Individual scoring, Billikens were led tonight by Brady Dunlap's 22 points. He was 6 for 6 from beyond the arc. And finishing with a game-high 22 points. 17 out of Robbie Avila, 14 out of Amari McCautry, 13 for Trey Green. They were the 4 in double figures tonight for the Billikens. 8 points out of Dion Brown, 5 apiece off the bench from Ishan Sharma and Kellen Thames. 4 points out of Quentin Jones before he fouled out. And 3 points for Paul Otinho. 9 players played tonight for the Billikens. Each one of them got in the scoring column. Meanwhile, for Davidson, they were led by Josh Govin, 17 points tonight. Parker Fredrickson added 15. Devin Brown with 13. Those were the 3 Davidson put in double figures. 7 points apiece from Sam Brown and Sean Logan. 6 points out of Hunter Adam. 5 points apiece for Jaquelon Roberts and Roberts Blums. Leading scorer for Davidson held to 5 points tonight. 2 points from Ian Plateau and Manny Joseph, as Davidson put 11 players on the floor tonight. 10 of the 11 got in the scoring column. As the Billikens win it 91-82. Again, the Billikens now 22-1 on the season. They're 10-0 in the A10. Davidson falls to 13-9 on the year and 5-5 in A10 play. That's going to wrap it up tonight on the live stream. Appreciate everybody jumping in on the live chat tonight. Enjoyed talking with each of you tonight. And my name is John, Sports Bonanza John on YouTube. If you do like my content, really would appreciate a like and subscribe from you. Also on Kick tonight at Sports Kick John. Also have content on Twitch at Sport Guru John. We'll be posting new content on there in the near future as well. I will be back tomorrow night for another college basketball live stream. It's probably going to be UCF in Houston. That game starts at 7 o'clock Eastern time. I will be on just prior to that to get you prepped for that Big 12 battle between the Knights and the Cougars. If something changes, I will try to have a post for you if there is something different and I have to go on a little bit later for a different game. I will try to keep updated on my page tomorrow for you. Appreciate it. And again, enjoyed it. Appreciate each and every single one of you that tuned in tonight, and hope to talk to you again tomorrow for more college basketball on the live stream here on YouTube and Kick. Thanks a lot, everybody. Appreciate it. Good night.